You're still breathing. Your heart is still beating. That means you have another chance. Right now, in this moment, you can choose to change everything. Let me tell you about Marcus. 3 years ago, he sat in his small apartment, surrounded by unpaid bills, 20 pounds overweight, and stuck in a job he hated. Every morning, he'd look in the mirror and say, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow never came. His excuses were perfect. The economy is bad. I don't have enough education. I'm too old to start over. These excuses were his comfort blanket, keeping him warm in his misery. Until one Tuesday morning, when his 5-year-old daughter asked him, Daddy, why are you always sad? Those 6 words shattered his world. That evening, he took out a notebook and wrote down every excuse he'd ever made. Looking at that list, he realized something powerful. His excuses had become his prison bars, and he was both the prisoner and the guard. The next morning, Marcus woke up at 5 a.m. instead of 7. No excuses. His body screamed for more sleep, but he pushed through. He started walking just 15 minutes at first. No fancy gym membership needed. He applied for 3 jobs every single day, regardless of whether he felt qualified. When fear crept in, he acknowledged it but kept moving forward. Within 6 months, Marcus had lost 15 pounds, secured a better paying job, and started an online course in digital marketing. Not because conditions were perfect, they never are, but because he decided that his excuses cost more than his dreams. Every time you make an excuse, you're not just postponing success. You're actively choosing failure. Every I'll start Monday is a no to your better life. Every I'm not ready is a yes to staying exactly where you are. The cost of waiting isn't just time. It's life itself. While you're making excuses, someone else is making progress. While you're explaining why you can't, someone else is figuring out how they can. While you're waiting for the perfect moment, life is passing by. 2025 stands before you, clean, fresh, untouched. But it won't stay that way for long. Each day will be written by either your actions or your excuses. Each moment will be claimed by either your courage or your fear. You might be thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You're right, I don't. But I understand this. Whatever your situation is today, it will only change when your actions become louder than your excuses. The time for waiting is over. The time for someday is done. Your future self is watching you right now, begging you to take action. Will you choose the temporary comfort of excuses or the lasting power of action? The choice is yours. But remember, that choice must be made now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Most people walk around carrying only a fraction of their true power. They're like phones operating on low battery mode, functioning but far below their real capacity. Think about a lion born in captivity. This magnificent creature, designed to rule vast territories, lives in a space smaller than your backyard. It eats prepared meals, never hunting, never running at full speed, never using its natural ability. That lion still looks like a lion, still has the strength of a lion. But later, this is what happens to many of us. We're born with incredible abilities, natural talents, and unlimited potential. But somewhere along the way, we start believing in limitations. We accept what others tell us about our capabilities. We listen to the voices that say, be realistic, don't aim too high, stay in. The potential isn't determined by your education, your family background, or your bank account. These things might influence your starting point, but they don't define your destination. Your potential is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you challenge it. It's not fixed. It's not a destination. It's more like a seed that keeps growing as long as you feed it. Every time you push past your comfort zone, every time you learn something new, every time you face a fear, your potential expands. Existing and living is simple. Existing is accepting what comes your way. Living is actively creating what you want. Most people exist because it's easier. They settle for good enough because it's comfort. They choose security over growth, familiarity over adventure. But you were born for more than just existing. Look at your hands. These same hands that might type emails or flip through social media were designed by the same force that created mountains and oceans. The same brain you use to remember phone numbers can learn new languages, create businesses, solve complex problems. Your natural capacity for greatness isn't just about achieving big things. It's about becoming who you truly are. Like a flower breaking through concrete to reach sunlight, your potential will fight to express itself. The only question is, would you help it or hinder it? System free from self-imposed limitation starts with understanding this truth. Most of your limitations are learned. You weren't born thinking you couldn't do things. You learned to limit yourself. The good news. What is learned can be unlearned. Start with small challenges. Each time you do something you thought you couldn't, you crack the shell of your limitations. Each small win proves that your potential is greater than your current performance. Your potential isn't just about what you can do. It's about who you can become. Every person who achieved something great started exactly where you were, with a decision to stop settling. The gap between where you are and where you could be isn't filled with more talent or better circumstances. It's filled with daily choices to push a little harder, reach a little higher, try one more time. The potential is waiting for you to claim it. Not next year, not when conditions are perfect. But right now, every moment you choose growth over comfort, courage over fear, action over excuses, you step closer to your true potential. Whether you have greatness within you, you do. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Because potential without action is like having a superpower you never use. It's time to stop being a lion in a cage. Your territory is waiting. The excuse you make has a price tag attached to it. Each time you say, I can't, you're signing a check that's drawn from your future success. Let's strip away the masks and look at what excuses really are. The most dangerous thing about excuses is how reasonable they sound. I don't have enough money to start. Translate, I'm not willing to find creative solutions or start small. I'm too busy right now. This isn't really a priority for me. I'm not as talented as others. Translates, I'm afraid of competing and possibly failing. Here's what your excuses really cost you. First time you didn't start your business because the market wasn't right. Someone else started theirs and is now 5 years ahead of you. That fitness program you didn't begin because you were too tired. Those same 365 days passed anyway, but without any progress. That relationship you didn't repair because it's too awkward now. Those moments of connection are gone forever. The comfort zone trap is real, and it's deadly to your dreams. Your comfort zone feels like a safe harbor, but it's actually a prison. Inside it, everything is predictable, manageable, and the problem with comfort zones is don't stay comfortable. They slowly shrink, taking your... Think about this. Every skill you have now was once outside your comfort zone. Walking, talking, reading, you weren't born with these abilities. You failed countless times before walking became natural. You made embarrassing sounds before speaking clearly. You struggled with letters before reading became second nature. Somewhere along the way, something changed. You started choosing comfort over growth. You began building walls instead of bridges. Your excuses became more sophisticated, more believable even to yourself. Why do people choose excuses over growth? Because excuses offer immediate emotional relief. When you make an excuse, you temporarily feel better. You've explained away your lack of action. You've justified your current position. You've created a story that protects you from the discomfort of change. But here's the brutal truth of your success. You can't have both. Every time you make an excuse, you're choosing your limitations over your possibilities. Every time you explain why you can't, you're programming your mind to look for obstacles instead of opportunities. Just the real power of excuses lies in their ability to sound like wisdom. I'm just being realistic, sounds smarter than I'm too scared to try. I'll wait for the right time feels more responsible than I'm procrastinating out of fear. I need to learn more first appears more logical than I'm paralyzed by perfectionism. Your mind is like a lawyer. It will defend whatever position you take. Feed it excuses, and it will find evidence to support them. Feed it possibilities, and it will show you paths to achieve them. You look at your phone right now. Count your apps. Each one was created by someone who could have made the same excuses you're making. The market is saturated. Big companies dominate the space. I don't have enough resources. But they chose action over excuses. The most dangerous excuse is the one you don't recognize as an excuse. It disguises itself as wisdom, masquerades as patience, pretends to be prudence, but time reveals its true identity. 5 years from now, you'll either thank yourself for starting today or regret listening to your excuses. The excuse you accept today becomes stronger tomorrow. Like a muscle, what you feed grows. Feed your excuses and they'll multiply. Feed your actions and your results will multiply. This is your moment of truth. Those excuses you've been nursing, protecting, believing in, and they are keeping you safe. They are keeping you small. They're not protecting you from failure. They're protecting you from success. The world doesn't reward people for the quality of their excuses. It rewards them for the quality of their actions. Your excuses might be valid, but they're not helpful. They might be real, but they're not permanent unless you choose to make them so. The question isn't whether your excuses are reasonable. The question is, are they serving the future you want to create? The most powerful moment in your life is when you stop blaming others and take absolute ownership of where you are. This isn't about guilt. It's about power. When you own your situation, you own your ability to change it. Every time you point a finger at someone else, you give away your power to create change. Your boss isn't stopping you from growing. Your response to your circumstances is. The economy isn't holding you back. Your past doesn't determine your future. Your present choices do. Think about driving a car. When you're in the passenger seat, you might have opinions about the route, the speed, the music, but you have no real control. The moment you move to the driver's seat, everything changes. You're now in charge of direction, the pace, and the destination. Your life works the same way. As long as you're playing the passenger role, making excuses and blaming others, you're just along for the ride. But when you take the driver's seat of your life, when you accept total responsibility, taking responsibility isn't comfortable. It means admitting that where you are right now is a result of your choices. It means acknowledging that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you always control how you respond. Something happens, you point fingers, you feel temporarily better, nothing changes, repeat. It's exhausting and it leads nowhere. Breaking this cycle starts with a simple but powerful shift. Instead of asking whose fault is this, ask what can I do about this? Your circumstances don't create your life. Your responses do. Two people can face the same set. One becomes bitter, the other becomes better. One sees an end, the other sees a beginning. The difference isn't in what happened to them, it's in how they chose to respond. Because these in your circumstances mean these truths. Life isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. Your thoughts, decisions, and actions are like seeds. They always produce a harvest. Always. The questions, are you planting what you want to grow? Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Stop waiting for others to fix your problems. They won't. Stop waiting for life to get easier. It doesn't. Instead, get stronger, more resilient, more responsible. This isn't about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's about understanding that your responses shape your reality. When you blame others, you give them power over your life. When you take responsibility, you take that power back. Your life is speaking to you right now. Every result you're getting is feedback. If you don't like the feedback, change your actions. If you don't like your situation, change your responses. If you don't like your life's direction, take the wheel. It becomes my life. I own my choices. I own my responses. I own my future. It means no more waiting for rescue, no more blaming circumstances, no more excusing inaction. The shift from victim to victor happens in one moment. The moment you decide to own everything in your life. Not just the successes, but the failures too. Not just the victories, but the setbacks too. Because when you own it all, you can change it all. Your power to change your life has always been there. It's been waiting for you to claim it. To step up. To say, this is mine. Today, right now, you can make that choice. You can take back your power by taking complete responsibility for your life. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's freedom. It's the freedom to create, to change, to grow, to become. The question is, are you ready to claim that freedom? A specific purpose, a limited time. What you do with these gifts determines everything. Your purpose isn't just some fancy idea. It's as real as your heartbeat, as natural as your fingerprint. Stop looking at your watch and start looking at your life. Time isn't just passing, it's passing with a purpose. Every minute spent doubting yourself is a minute lost from your purpose. Every hour spent copying others is an hour stolen from your unique contribution. Here's the truth about time. You can't store it. You can't borrow it. You can only spend it. And right now, in this moment, you're spending it on something. Is that something moving you toward your purpose or away from it? Most people treat time like they treat money when they're young. They spend it like it's unlimited. They waste it on things that don't matter. Invest it in activities that don't grow them. Give it to people who don't value it. Then one day, they look up and wonder where it all went. Your unique contribution isn't something you need to create. It's something you need to release. It's already inside you. Think about this. Out of the billions of people who have ever lived, no one has your exact combination of talents, experiences, and perspective. No one. What is that job you hate? The time you spend there isn't just costing you 8 hours a day. It's costing you pieces of your purpose. That dream you keep putting off, the longer you wait, the more it costs you. Not just in time, but in impact. Someone out there needs what only you can give. Waiting costs more than failing. When you fail, you learn. When you wait, you waste. Failure moves you forward. Waiting keeps you stuck. Every person who ever achieved something meaningful failed their way to success. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't wait. Create urgency in your life. Not the fake urgency of rushing around being busy, but the real urgency of knowing your purpose and refusing to waste another day not pursuing it. Your purpose creates natural urgency when you truly understand it. It's time to pass whether you use or waste it. 5 years from now, you'll be 5 years older. The only question is, will you be 5 years better? 5 years closer to your purpose? 5 years more impactful? Your purpose isn't just about you. It's about your contribution to others. Every day you don't live your purpose, someone misses out on your gift. Every time you choose comfort over purpose, the world loses something it needs. The greatest tragedy isn't dying. It's living without purpose. It's reaching the end of your life with your music still inside you, a book still unwritten, your business still unlaunched, your impact still unmade. Time and purpose work together like this. Your purpose gives meaning to your time. And your time gives life to your purpose. One without the other is useless. Having all of the time in the world means nothing without purpose. Having a clear purpose means nothing without taking action in time. The clock is ticking. Your purpose is waiting. What are you going to do about it? Stop planning to plan. Stop getting ready to get ready. 2025 isn't about resolutions. It's about revolution. Your personal revolution starts with clear, decisive action steps. First, create your success framework. Take out a paper right now. Not tomorrow, not later. Now write down your current position in these areas: health, wealth, relationships, skills, and impact. Be brutally honest. Don't write what you wish was true. Write what is true. Now here's a daily accountability system. This would empower hour. I'll wake up 1 hour earlier than usual. This isn't negotiable. This hour belongs to your growth. Split it into 3 parts: body, exercise, mind, exercise, mind, is organic. 20 minutes each. No excuses. No daily scoreboard matters. Create 3 non-negotiable tasks each day that move you toward your goals. Not easy tasks, not busy work. Real, meaningful actions that create change. Score yourself every night. Did you hit all 3? Why not? Building momentum through small wins isn't about doing easy things. It's about breaking big things into doable chunks. Want to write a book? Start with 1 page per day. Want to build a business? Want to get in shape? Start with 10 minutes of exercise. Small actions repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. Think about rolling a snowball down a hill. The first push is the hardest. But once it starts rolling, it grows on its own. Your success works the same way. Create systems for success. A system beats willpower every time. Don't rely on motivation. It comes and goes. Build systems that work even when you don't feel like working. Want to save money? Want to eat better? Prep your meals in advance. Want to grow your skills? Schedule learning time like you schedule meetings. Your environment will either support your goals or sabotage them. Look around your space right now. Does it reflect who you want to become? If not, change it. Remove distractions. Add inspiration. Create a space that pushes you toward your goals, not away from them. Don't take everything that matters. What gets measured gets improved. Keep a simple scorecard. Daily actions completed, progress made, lessons learned. Review it weekly. Be honest about what's working and what isn't. Adjust your approach based on real results, not feelings. Build accountability partnerships. Find someone who wants to grow as much as you do. Share your goals. Check in weekly. Not to complain or make excuses, but to report progress and adjust strategies. Make these check-ins non-negotiable. Create consequence and reward systems. Set clear stakes for your goals. If you hit your weekly targets, reward yourself in a meaningful way. If you miss them, have a predetermined consequence. Make it real. Make it matter. Your daily routine is either building your future or stealing it. Audit your time use. Every hour should either be investing in your growth or producing results. Cut out time wasters mercilessly. Netflix won't help you reach your goals. Social media scrolling won't build your future. Actions without strategy are just motion. Strategy without action is just dreaming. You need both. Plan your work, then work your plan every single. So the difference between success and failure usually isn't in the big moments. It's in the small daily decisions. It's choosing the gym over the couch, the book over the TV, the sales call over the excuse, the hard conversation over the comfortable silence. Those action steps aren't suggestions. They're requirements for success. They're not optional extras. They're the foundation of achievement. The question isn't whether they work. They do. The question is, will you work them? 2025 is your year, but only if you make it yours through consistent, focused, deliberate action, starting now. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your indicator. When you feel fear, it's not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're moving in the right direction. The only people who never feel fear are those who never try anything new. Let's understand fear's true nature. Your heart racing, your palms sweating, your mind racing with what ifs. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs that you're alive, that you're pushing boundaries, that you're growing. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means something important is about to happen. Most people misunderstand fear. They think courage means not feeling afraid. That's wrong. Courage means feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. Every successful person you admire feels fear. The difference is they use it as fuel instead of letting it become a wall. Think about a rocket launch. The most powerful part of the journey is pushing through the atmosphere. The part with the most resistance. Your fear is like that resistance. When you feel it strongest, you're often closest to your breakthrough. It starts with this understand. Fear is energy, Like any energy, you can harness it. When you feel fear before presentation, that's energy you can use to be more dynamic. When you feel fear before starting a business, that's energy you can channel into thorough preparation. Do one thing every day that scares you. Not reckless things and meaningful things that stretch you. Make that call you've been avoiding. Share that idea you've been hiding. Take that step you've been postponing. The opposite between fear and growth is directs. Where you feel fear, that's where you need to grow. Your fears mark the boundaries of your comfort zone. And they show you exactly where to push to expand your life. What says lies? You're not ready. You'll fail. People will laugh, but here's the truth. So you become ready by starting. You succeed by failing forward. What people think matters far less than what you do. It can't stop you unless you let it. It can make you uncomfortable, but it can't make your decisions. It can suggest reasons to quit, but it can't make you quit. You always have the final say. The biggest fear isn't failure. It's success. Because success means change. It means responsibility. It means leaving the familiar behind. Recognize this fear for what it is. A sign that you're on the right path. You start seeing fear differently when it shows up. Thank it. It's trying to protect you. But then remind it, I'm not in danger, I'm growing, I'm not losing, I'm learning, I'm not falling, I'm flying. The choice isn't between fear and no fear. The choice is between fear and regret. Fear passes, regret stays. Fear can be faced today, regret lives forever. Your future self is watching. They know what you're afraid of right now. They're cheering for you to push through because they know something you might have forgotten. On the other side of fear is everything you want. The time to face your fear isn't when you feel ready. It's now. Because fear faced today becomes courage tomorrow. The price of inaction isn't just staying where you are. It's watching yourself slowly retreat. Every time you choose not to act, something inside you shrinks. Every time you listen to your excuses, your dreams become a little more distant. Think about this moment right now. You're sitting here, your heart's beating with possibility. You've heard the truth about excuses. You've understood the power of responsibility. You've seen what your potential truly is. At this moment, right here, is your turning point. Your future self exists in two versions. The version one took action today. They fought through fear. They pushed past excuses. They did the work. They're living the life you dream about. Version two waited. Excuses. Stay comfortable. They're still talking about what could have been. The gap between these two versions of you starts right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready. Now, this moment is the first page of your new story, but only if you choose to write it. Here's what you need to do right now. Stand up right now. Physical movement creates emotional movement. Take out your phone. Open your calendar. Schedule your morning power hour for tomorrow. Write down your 3 non-negotiable actions for tomorrow. Message that person you need to help keep you accountable. Clear your space of one thing that doesn't serve your future. The power of starting now isn't just about today. It's about momentum. Every action you take builds energy for the next action. Every step forward makes the next step easier. But it has to start with one step. Your step now. Your excuses will always sound reasonable. Your fear will always feel real. Your comfort zone will always seem safe. But none of these things can stop you unless you let them. Verse 25 is here. It's not waiting for you to feel ready. It's not waiting for perfect conditions. It's moving forward with or without you. The only question is, will you move with it or watch it pass by? Your dreams aren't just wishes. They're assignments. They're not just wants. They're responsibilities. Someone out there needs what only you can give. Something out there can only be built by your hands, shared through your voice, created from your vision. The cost of waiting isn't just time lost. It's life unlived. It's impact unmade. It's potential unrealized. Every day you wait is a day someone misses out on your gift to the world. This is your moment. Not because it's perfect, because it's yours. Not because you're ready, because you're alive. Not because it's easy. Stand up, step up, speak up. The world has waited long enough for what you have to offer. Your excuses end today, your action starts now. Your future is waiting. But not forever. What will you choose? Make your move. Start your journey. Create your change. Now. Because if not now, when? If not you? The time is now. The person is, rise up and become who you were born to be.